Hey everyone, so what we're going to do today is a little bit different than what we've been talking about. So far you've only seen the educational aspect of the Raptor Center. So all the birds that you've seen so far have all been non-releasable for some reason or another. They're with me over on the education side. But today our rehabilitation unit actually has 5 hawks that are ready to be released back into the wild. And so today we're going to talk a little bit about those 5 individual hawks, and also we're going to see them get released today. So this aviary behind me, that's actually where they stay. It's a really long aviary where they've got plenty of room to kind of gain back their strength. So after they kind of go through any kind of medical procedures that they need, whether they need to have some surgery on a bone or something, they'll come out here to these larger aviaries and kind of start gaining their strength back. And today we've got 5 different hawks that are ready to be released. I've got some notes here because I don't really know much about these birds. Like I said, we're totally different sides. So I've never seen these birds before. I have no idea about any of their problems. I don't go anywhere near them because they could potentially have some kind of disease. So we have biosecurity procedures in place where I basically stay with my educational birds, which I know are healthy, they don't have any kind of diseases, they've been with us for years and years and years. And then our rehabilitation staff works on these rehab birds, and I usually don't even come anywhere close to them. But like I said, today we've got 5 raptors that are ready to be released. Now before they can get released, they have to pass a flight test. And so our veterinary staff, our rehabilitation staff, will go into these enclosures and kind of do a flight test with them. They will analyze them in these large aviaries where they can see them flying back and forth, and they have to score at least a 22 on that test in order to be released. So all 5 of these raptors, these 5 hawks, have all scored at least a 22 and are going to be released today. So we've got 2019-248. So he's the one that's been here the longest. I say he. I actually don't know if it's he or a she. We don't do DNA tests on these. But it's been here the longest, and it came in with a wing droop. Don't really know what that wing droop was caused by. Possibly soft tissue damage. They did do some radiographs. That really didn't show much. And so maybe some soft tissue damage, possibly some nerve damage. 2020-010. Which had an esophagus laceration, and it was unable to stand when it originally came in. We also have 2020-024, which was unable to flex its middle digit on the front. You know, these raptors are grabbing birds, and so they need to be able to flex those talons. We've got some radiographs of that one online. 2020-029, which had some head trauma and was wobbly. It actually ran into a glass window. These birds really don't see glass. They kind of see straight through it. And so sometimes they will hit those glass windows. They'll kind of stun themselves. They will have that head trauma sometimes. But usually after a couple days in these flight aviaries, getting their strength, giving them a couple good free meals for those few days, can get their strength back, and then they can be ready for release. And then we also have 2020-051, which came to us emaciated. So it was basically starving. We can give it food for those free meals, get it back to a healthy weight, and then release it back into the wild. Now, after these 5 raptors get released, we are going to have 47 raptors still here undergoing rehabilitation. This enclosure behind me, after these 5 get released, it's going to have 7 hawks and 1 owl in there. And so we can co-house these raptors. They can all live together depending on their species. You obviously don't want to house species that would fight with each other, possibly kill each other together. But the red-tailed hawks and the great horned owl and vultures can all live together in this really large enclosure behind me. And that really there's plenty of room for them to spread out. We give them plenty of food in there, and so they can cohabitate together. And then when we release them, usually they're not going to stay in that same spot. So even though we're releasing these 5 together today, they're not going to stay in that spot. They're going to go somewhere else. They're going to go off, find their own territory, and they could go miles. I mean, they could be in Georgia by tomorrow. There's no rules that they have to stay here. And so they can go wherever they want. And like I said, possibly it could be over in Georgia tomorrow. And so we really don't know where they will go. We actually don't even keep track of them. You have to have special permits for that. We don't have permits to ban these birds. And so once they get released, we really don't know what happens to them. But hopefully they have a great life out there. We're kind of giving them that second chance of living life out in the wild. Like I said, if possible. If not possible, they'll come and live with me at our education section, or we'll transfer them to another facility if I don't have room, or maybe if I don't want that individual for any given reason. So we're going to get these birds loaded up, and we're going to take them out somewhere and get them released. So hopefully you enjoyed watching those 5 hawks get released today. We're back at the center. I'm standing in front of some of our other rehab aviaries now. You've seen them kind of in the background of the videos we've been doing sometimes. So we've got 2 large ones down where I originally was, and then we've got these 4 kind of medium-sized ones up closer in a different area, up closer to my area. But we released 5 of those raptors today. Like I said, we still have 47 raptors here in our care now that are all for who knows what kind of reasons. Well, the veterinarians know, but I don't know what they're here for. We do have an online software website that you can go to. I'm going to post a link for those 5 raptors that we released today because there's going to be taken offline here tomorrow. But all of our active cases, you can actually go to our website, auburn.edu/raptor, and click on case updates and see what raptors are in our care, what their problems are, if they've got any radiographs that are visible, and you can actually see how much it's costed for us to care for those raptors. And so if you're ever curious about a raptor that you dropped off, or maybe just what raptors we have in our care currently, you can go to our website, auburn.edu/raptor, click on case updates, and see the raptors in our care. Today, rehabilitation is actually releasing another bald eagle. And so I wasn't able to go on that release today, but I've asked them to get some videos, so we'll see if there's anything that I can use with those videos. It's not very long. You know, the videos, it kind of goes quick. You kind of just open up the box and the eagle's gone, the hawks are gone. They don't really stay around and thank us very long. But if we get some good video from that, I'll be sure to share that with everyone. Thanks for tuning in. War Eagle.